Hey, friends. Good evening. How's your Monday? If you're asking about my pre-live rituals, I just like some music. That's all. That's it. I just want some music. And Pool Boy, we're blowing up a little here. It's a little light. It's a little light. I wish I could get a screen to test before I do it. But I'm listening to Diary of a Madman, which I probably should stop it. I should also stop that. And welcome you to the show. Welcome you to Monday. We could talk some books. We could talk some happenings. We could talk some dramas. Some dramas. We could talk some beers. Good to see you, everyone. What's up? Who do we got here? We got Jesse, Josh, Joshua. I don't want to presume I can call you Josh. Mike, Mark, Jesse, Jason, Kevin, Zach, Phil, Mark again. Snuck another one in there. Kevin, David, Phil again. Ask Pool Boy to fetch you an umbrella. Yeah, I got to get some sort of light dampening thing. It's like, and then it got real bright right there. I don't know. And then when I lean in, it's fluctuating. It's fluctuating. What's up, Zach? Went to an orchard in North Georgia earlier. They had a thin mint apple cider. It was surprisingly delicious. Yeah, that doesn't sound like anything I would partake of, but who knows? You know, sometimes unexpected flavor combinations is what gets you going. You know, what's up, Jason, Sean, Tim? Good to see you, Brandon, Alan, Ron, and number one. To round it out. Hello, everyone. I wanted to do this outside on my deck, smoking on a stogie, because you can't smoke the stogies near the books. But outside, you know, you can kind of just sit there with the scotch and the stogie, and then you can see me turn green because I don't know how to smoke a cigar. And Tennessee doesn't know how to store a cigar. Every cigar I get is like kindling. It's terrible. It's terrible. And 2 cigars, right? $15 a piece. I can get the Broken Binding edition. Well, you could have bought the Broken Binding edition of Third Rule of Time Travel for $30. You have a book forever with a Fracassi signature instead of momentary stomach problems. So I don't know. Wait 1 second. Pool Boy, entertain the nice people while I come over here and try to get some normal looking light going. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. We can work with it. So hello, Alexia. Good to see you. Sounded awful, but they recommended it, and I'm glad they did. Thin mint apple cider. It's a bold move. It's a bold move, and you know what? You got to make bold moves. So you get one go round. You know, you get one shot at it all. Right, Pool Boy? Pool Boy. Greetings and salutations, Stephen Wayne Jr. Newsletter, Nepenthe Press. Not sure who they are, but I checked X Twitter for the usual hysteria and didn't find any. This time the hysteria was solidly on Facebook. And I could walk you through it, but it's really the anger comes from going through all the emails that are unresponded to from this customer. It's an amazing little journey, but it takes some time to go through. You have to really feel this customer's pain as you scroll through all the unanswered emails. So essentially, this guy bought Unquiet Slumber, and he's in Belgium. His name is Jalle. So I don't know, Jolly. And he bought Unquiet Slumber, and it never made it to him. And so he reached out to Nepenthe, and he said, hey, you know, I ordered the book, and apparently it got returned. The post office returned it to Nepenthe, and they said to Nepenthe that he didn't want to pay some customs charge. It's a web. Really, it wasn't Nepenthe's fault at first. The customer was supposed to get the book. It got bounced back to the publisher, And and he's like, hey, I don't know what happened, but the post office says I have to go through you to get it back. They won't answer any of my questions. They said resolve it with you. Can you please send my copy? And through the back and forth, initially he got a response like, oh, we're so sorry, we'll send you a replacement copy. He's like, great. He sent 3 or 4 emails to get to that point. Then they responded. And then it was 3 or 4 emails where he's like, hey, any update on this? Any update on this? And when you look at the emails, you look at the date, and it's going by month after month after month after month. And then he gets a snarky answer. Well, hey, we sent you a book. It came back because you didn't want to pay the thing. And he's like, no, it wasn't. I didn't want to pay the thing. They said I didn't have complete paperwork. I was trying to straighten it out with them. And apparently they sent it back in error. So can you do something? Well, we only have PC copies. He's like, great, I'll take one. Can you send it to me? And they're like, yeah, well, here, I'll send you your tracking info. Then he sends 5 more emails asking for his book. And then finally, he gets yelled at. They say, please don't contact us anymore. We've refunded your money. The guy also bought another book from them, All of Them Witches, and he goes, I want the books. I don't want my money. They refunded him. They gave him back the money for both orders, basically saying, don't do business with us anymore. We sent out 350 successful, happy customers. You seem to have a problem and you harass us. And if you look at the timestamps on the emails, they're all like weeks apart. It's like, when you read them all at once, you're like, yeah, I can kind of see him pestering, but you have to consider you're reading them all at once. He was sending them out like 1 week later, 2 weeks later. The guy spent a lot of money. He still wanted to be a customer. He was basically begging them, let me be your customer. And they're like, we don't want your business. So in an act of desperation, he posted it on like Sign Limited Awesome, whatever, one of the Facebook groups. And he wrote basically, am I the asshole? And everybody's jaw was just unhinged. They're like, these people are the worst. Like, these responses and the way it ended up is just like the absolute worst customer service you could ever expect. And these are people who also know Cemetery Dance exists. I mean, it was really just amazing how awful Nepenthe screwed this up. And then this guy went public with it. Basically looking for opinions and not even on an attack. It's not like he started his post, don't ever buy from these jagoffs again. Don't, buyer beware, nothing like that. He was like, what am I missing here? What did I do wrong? Can you read through these things? So the guy had receipts for everything. And a lot of people are like, I am never buying. Like, if you're extending all that money for these limited editions and then you get treated like that, I told the guy, I said, I'm amazed by your tenacity that you would continue to want to be a customer. I would have canceled. I would have said, just give me a refund. I'm done with you. You don't need a book. It's not like life-saving insulin or something. It's a book. You can walk away. And like, they could produce, and that is the problem, because they are doing The Fisherman. That is a book I've wanted for a long time. I interviewed John Langan on my channel when he wrote I interviewed him for Suntup's edition of Blackwater. And the guy was amazing. And when I was doing my research, I discovered the guy wrote The Fisherman, and it sounds like it's a book that's going to be something I'm going to love. And so I've been every time I go to a secondhand store, I look for copies of it. Undertow did an edition that's like probably impossible to find. And I don't know what it costs once you do find it. But I can't even find, I mean, I could go on Amazon and buy a paperback, I suppose. I don't know. And with my TBR being what it is, I sort of backburnered it. But I've been looking for it. And when Nepenthe announced it, it was like a day before this guy sort of flamed him on Facebook. And I was, oh, this is my chance to finally get a book from this publisher who I've never bought from before. And this is going to be something where I can experience what they do. And then that post kind of went all over the place. And I'm like, nah, I'm not doing it. I don't need the book that bad. And I don't know if it's gotten resolved. I don't know where it stands. I don't know if he's gotten an apology. An apology at this point would be bullshit. It would actually make me mad because you're not going to apologize until it's made public. Kiss my ass. Like it's not a sincere apology when you had every chance to apologize or make it right with this guy who's desperately trying to be your customer. And that's a customer you want to keep. No. So yes, let me see what I've missed. What does the bucket have in store for you today? Yes. Hey, Mitch, good to see you. Look this, and then upcoming Chad Lutsky. Yes, we were going to talk about that. Thanks, Mike. I've been getting an awesome reception about it. I'm thrilled. We are going to talk about the Lutsky. Mitch just cracked my second Chef Ward start, and holy man, it's a strong one. Kicking my butt. Tasty though. It's 11%, right? 11. Yeah, that's a good one. It's a staying in and watching the Jeff Word beer for sure. And even now, he still wants to buy their books. Yeah, I went on their page and they posted bashing him. Even really. Wow. Good evening, Robert. Good evening, Lance. So Mitch, I need, I guess, to send you more cashola soon. Yeah, you do. This is the year I read Blackwater. Well, let's read it together, Patty. I should read it too. Yes. Yikes. The Nepenthe situation sounds like a mess all the way around. Thanks for the background. Forewarned is forearmed. Yes. Like, and I will say when I started reading the responses from Nepenthe, they were okay at first. Their biggest problem was ghosting the guy, like just not responding through all that time. And then at the end saying, we've refunded you. We don't want to deal with you. Don't ever buy from us again. We have the right to refuse service. All together, when you take it all together and you put it up there, it's like, holy shit. The guy was as polite as can be too. And they said he's harassing them. He put it all out there. The receipts are out there. And they can do the calculus and say, well, we're doing The Fisherman, and a lot of people want this title. It's like it's probably one a lot of people requested from Suntop. It's a title I see asked for all the time, talked about. It's like literary horror is my understanding, and that's sort of what I'd love to read more of. And they might go, yeah, well, your one problem, you're going to blow away in the wind and we will move on. But they lost me for sure over that. Because again, I think I said this last week, smart people learn from their mistakes. Wise people learn from the mistakes of others. And if I see you treat someone like shit who doesn't deserve it at all, then I'm going to take that into account. I'm going to act like you treated me like shit. And if the guy didn't share all of his communications, it would be he said, she said type of he said situation where you'd never really know who the asshole was, but it's very clear. I'm not read it yet. I should have said this is the year I will read. Oh, I like to order a nice copy of The Fisherman, but I don't think I want it from them now. Would love to see Levidian or Suntop. I would too. And for sure, if you guys are like, well, screw it, I'm still going to buy it. It's not like you're the horrible stain on humanity. It's your business. I just don't, I'm very, reluctant to spend big money on books anymore. And if you're giving me any reason to run in the other direction, you don't have to tell me twice. Let me know who you are, and you tell me who you are. I'll believe you, and I'll I'm good over here. I have a lot. If I stopped collecting tomorrow, I would still have years of enjoyment on my shelves. So, think about that when you treat a customer like shit. Wish Earthling did a modern classics of Fisherman. Yes. Did anyone see the Project Hail Mary trailer? No. I should read that. But I don't like movie adaptations anyway. My friend Soraya is here visiting, and I finally unboxed my Centipede Alice for us to enjoy. Yay, Christopher, you're the reason I have one. I appreciate you tremendously. That is a beautiful book. And I have another book from Jill's shelves. We'll just call this From Jill's Shelves section of the broadcast when I get to it. Apparently, Nepenthe blocked a few people who commented on the post as well. Did they go to the Dick Chiz School of Biz? We're in the Chiz Biz. Wow. Morons. I'm like, that to me right there is, man, F them, right? That is a do not buy. That is an authentic. If I had a stamp graphic that went on the screen, like if I had a producer over there, give me the canceled stamp. Boom. No, Jeff does not give you permission to buy from them. You're canceling people. You are a publisher. This just irks me. Like I am hyperbolic. And I am extreme in my reactions in a lot of ways. And I feel myself going there. I know. It's too much sometimes. I'll admit that. I don't even like the way my voice sounds right now. I got a vocal fry going on. It's just all kinds of jumbled wires up there in my brain. But a publisher should die to preserve free speech in the First Amendment. You should like, look, I will let my press go under. I will publish banned books. I will do everything I can to fight censorship. And you're going to be blocking people that said bad things to you. Now, if it's harassment or bomb threats or anything that's threatening violence, yeah, get the police involved if somebody's trying to hurt you. But holy shit, that is just so antithetical to everything writing is about. Literally everything the written word is for. Screw them. I will never, like, they could send me a free book and it'll never appear on this channel. Wow. They need to really like retool, rebrand, and figure their shit out. With that said, well, hold on. Let me see if anybody else said anything. Mine was Lonesome Dove for Suntup. I will say, I can see that now too. One of the ambiguities of the English language. Oh yeah. Read versus read. Yeah. What is the top request on everyone's wish list for Suntup? Mine was Jack Finney's Body Snatchers, Lonesome Dove. I want their Robert Aikman Cold Hand in Mind book, but I will pass after the issue's posted. Yeah, that was Nepenthe. Pillars of the Earth. Pillars of the Earth is fantastic. Not my usual jam, but I ended up really enjoying it. That is also Paul Suntup's favorite book, and he's been pursuing it. I am awaiting their Aikman title. I'd love an Anathem by Neil Stevenson. Man, I love that book. I read my Suntup AE of Stepford Wives yesterday. It was so good. I had never read it before, and it was so much better than I thought it would be. I have a feeling I'll have that same reaction, Patty, when I read mine. I went with Finney too, but requested time and again. Also went for Lonesome Dove. Jeff, what is your top pick for Suntup? My top Suntup was Grendel. All right. I messed up on my survey. I went through my top 10, right? And because you have 10, you're like, okay, I don't have to really sweat it. But I started with Wolf's Hour by Robert McCammon, even though I have gifted to me the sub press edition. That is just, I'll never get over that as a gift. That blew me away. Thank you again, Tim Martin. I don't know if you come to my lives ever, but you are amazing. And I requested it from Suntup because it's like I want another McCammon, and Levidian's nailed Gone South, and Mystery Walk was amazing. Like what else was out there? The biggest one, and the one I think I'd love to see Suntup do, was Wolf's Hour. So I started there, and I went down my list. I had Fight Club on there. I don't remember all the books I had on there. I don't remember. I think I put Small Town Horror on there. I think I put Autumn Springs Retirement Home Massacre on there. I had a lot, right? And then at the last one, I'm like, what's the last one? I'm like, A Confederacy of Dunces. Holy shit. And then in my comment section, instead of going back and moving all the items down one to put Confederacy of Dunces at number 1, instead of doing that, I just wrote in the note, I put Confederacy Dunces at 10. That should have been 1. That I wanted that to be number 1. It's totally non-genre book. It's not anything a lot of people who read horror will love. I just thought it was a brilliant book, and I absolutely loved it. So that was my number 1. Is it too late to do the survey? I found mine in my spam folder. I would try it. I don't know if it's going to work. I like the way someone commented on Nepenthe. This was an opportunity for them to do something great. Instead, they doubled down and even posted about the buyer on their page. I'm not sure they could have done it worse. No, you're right, Kevin. It's like that's exactly what Chismar does. And, it's just, it's such a small community, and it is such a niche group of people. I think of all the books that we talk about, they're like, we're only doing 500 copies of Come With Me or Little Heaven or whatever it is. And I'm like, oh, or 235, even 235 people in our community. My channel has 2,500 subscribers. So you think, wow, Jeff Ward alone, if all those subscribers are big time collectors, there've got to be enough to go out and buy that title out the very first minute. No, I mean, it's a sliver of a fraction of a community. And you do this to somebody, like, again, we're all watching what they did to this person. And then it's not even like, it's like they unalived their customer and they're dragging his body around the town square, calling him a pile of shit or whatever. They're disparaging a customer who, despite them, was trying to be a customer. So they're done. We need a Lansdale Suntup. Yeah, I think I put a Lansdale down. Might have put the bottoms. Suntup request, Polar Star by Martin Cruz Smith. I was thinking about how Paul at Suntup is handling the situation on back orders. Night and day difference. Yeah. Back when I requested titles from the Tup, they printed a bunch of them. Johnny Got His Gun, Replay, Blood Meridian. Damn. Yeah, I remember you were Johnny Got His Gun. I was Butcher Boy. They've now turned off comments and deleted the ones that were there. Damn. That is just like, do they think they're going to run from it? It's just not. And I'm giving you my opinion. And like I said, if you still like, well, you know what? Business is business. And I really want The Fisherman. And it's going to be a great title on my shelf. And I don't have to go to lunch with these people. Like, I can't stand Dick Chiz, but I got the stand sitting there. I got a lot of Cemetery Dance on my shelf. So, you do what you're going to do. But for me, it's a no, dog. The Suntup delays don't bother me that much, as they are nothing to compare with CDs. Yeah. So anyway, let's check in with the Magic Duff Bucket, because it's not official until we do. So everything I said was non-legally binding. We got the meat ship. Yes. Is it a lager or is it a Pilsner? It's both, stupid. It's stupidly both. I was scolded by Mitch, who probably asked his parent to type a response because he's so little. He said it was a lager, and then he said it was a pilsner, and I said, which is it? He said both, dummy. So it's going to be a lager. I'm just going to call it a lager. Meat ship. Meat ship. Oh man, it's good for your lager. Meat ship. If you want some friendship, if you want your friendship to turn into a relationship, get out of the friend zone with a meat ship. Okay. Let's we're going to try it. I know Mike had one. I see there was a little in the gutter there, and I was going to sip it, but I know that Mitch likes to put stuff in the gutters of my beers to prank me. I'm kidding. But I'm like, no, I want my first taste of this to be live and real. And real. Yeah, I did pass over that part, Zach. Meat Ship. It's a good one, Jeff. Meat Ship is phenomenal. Space horror. Yes, the story from Sam Rebeline is phenomenal space horror. I love it. Can't wait for that story. Can't wait to read that story. Yes. Here we go. Meat Ship. Yeah, this is a summer beer. Man, this is good. This is really good. I'm a stout boy, but right under Stout Boy is Rapture Boy. And man, this is good stuff, Mitch. This is really good. Again, though, maybe I'll save a meat ship for the 4th of July when you're sitting there and you got the sweat, you got the swalls. If you don't know what swalls are, you're not a guy and whatever. But you're sweaty and it's like just clinging to you, and then you got one of these. Meat ship. It cures the swalls. It's what your swalls need. I don't know. And that was just one sip. What's the ABV on this, Mitchell? What's the ABV? I gotta know. It's very delicious. Very delicious. Very refreshing. It's kind of waking me up. Yeah, I do. I talk in my sleep. The sign of the can reminds me of the Colt 45 cans. I'm sure the beer in the meat chip can is 1,000 times better. I had so many of those meat chip lagers, I can't get enough. Look at you with your alcoholism. Because that's basically what you're admitting to. I'm not here for that. Yeah, it's a great 4th of July beer. What is it? ABV is 5.4. That's a pretty respectable punch. Man, I want to buy some Rapture beer. Zach, can we get some people hooked up? Shoot them a message. Mitch, you have a keg at home, right? Not at the moment, but I need to. Jesse wants to try Rapture. Zach wants to try Rapture. I'm kind of getting sweaty. Okay. Is that no? I feel like Mitch, and I think this accentuates my forehead, which is fine. I don't care. Do you think now I look? I don't know. Maybe I'll just keep it off. No. Nope. So everybody shoot Mitch a message, and I don't know how. If anybody has a problem getting a hold of Mitch, you can email me at jeff@thejeffword.fun. This is how I type, and I write for a living. So, I wrote Jer. I'm Jer. You see, that's the thing. A lot of people called me Jerry because Jeff Terry, and they're lazy. Jeff@thejeffword.fun. If that's not what this says, then just fill in the blanks then. So Jeff@thejeffword.fun. If you can't get a hold of Mitch, email me there. I will connect you to Mitch, and then he will connect you to 5.4% ABV. Oh, excuse me. Okay, so we're getting and I hope you're all over 21. Whoever's trying to get some beer out of Mitch, because he won't check, he won't make sure. He's not like that. So, want to continue to talk about Rapture? Well, I can share with you. I'm sure you've all seen it, but I can tell you right now. Um, where am I? Okay. Oh, that is so blown out. Jill, is it blown out for you? Is it real white? I don't know. She's not on probably. Let's see. So the new Rapture. Oh man, I noticed I didn't get a shout out in the email. By the way, I just got to bust your stones, Mitch. It's okay, but it's really not. So we got Rapture. We got Chad Lutsky to be a ghost, and that image on the cover, man. I read it. Oh man, GTFO. It's so awesome. It is so. I don't know if I'm getting an arc. Am I getting an arc? Because I'll do an unboxing and a review at the same mo. That's how the cool kids say moment. So he's doing To Be a Ghost. I'm thrilled to announce the July chapbook by an author I feel hasn't gotten the attention he's deserved over his career. I first met Chad during a Jeff Word book club event over Zoom for Jeff Word for a recent book of his, Bruises on a Butterfly, which is a brilliant book, by the way. And the way he spoke about the characters and the insight at which he wrote the story was truly a special experience, which made it all the more sad when he announced on the Jeff Word BookTube channel book club to the group that he was taking a step away from writing. I couldn't believe it. So once the chat ended, I hopped on over to Facebook Messenger and shot Chad a message about writing a chapbook to Rapture. Filled him in of all the details and my vision for these stories, and his response was exactly what I was looking for. Bringing me out of retirement already, huh? Sounds fun. Count me in. And yes, Chad Lutsky has no business being in retirement. Honestly, really, no business. He should not have been anybody who's off of writing. And I read this. It is a fantastic Lutsky story. Fantastic. It is typical Lutsky. I mean, if you read this chapbook, you're going to, and you've never read Lutsky before, you're going to get Lutsky. Classic, brilliant Lutsky. Like you're going to get the undiluted, uncut Lutsky, and that's not a talk about circumcision. I'm just saying, you're going to get a really great story. I loved it so much, and I'm like, wow, this is exactly what we needed for Rapture. Definitely. And the art and everything about it is just, I couldn't be more stoked for it. And I'm stoked for all of you to read it, to enjoy it, and get either introduced to Chad or whatever, like, or just add to your collection and be glad that you have such a beautiful chapbook. Any plans to make more Rapture shirts? We need shirts. Nah, bro, you just that white. Oh man, I'm so damn stoked to read this one. I almost mentioned your Patreon in that post, but I didn't want to get canceled. Yeah, it's kind of toxic on my Patreon. It is. It's really bad. Does that get you to want to go to the Patreon? Because then I like to be titillating. You know, I like to get people. I like to stoke some controversy. And if that gets the hate views, I'm all for it. Can't wait for this one. I can't believe you still use Yahoo Mail. Are you using AOL as well? No, that's Chismar uses AOL. Yahoo cracks me up. I don't care. It still works. It still works. Jeff to right. Yahoo. David, I need to make me some more. I need to make some more Rapture shirts. Okay. So yes, that was cool. I mean, when Mitch told me he was doing Lutsky, I'm like, oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. It's got You need a Malfi, Mitch. You need a Malfi. You need a Mallerman. You need a Keelan Patrick Burke. You need an Anya Allborn. A Sarah Pinborough would be awesome. Chuck Palahniuk. Need I go on? How many more? Robert McCammon. Those would be amazing. We got the new Sarah Pinborough today. Looks great. Looks very good. Printed edges also. Yeah, I haven't read it yet. We live here now. We need a Jeff Terry chappie. Oh, man. Oh, you went right. You got right there, man. I'm telling you, if you read my newsletter, I got to shake it off. Just got to shake it off because it's like you can't perform when you're bunched up. You can't. When you're all bunched up, you just don't do it. Like if you like they say dance like no one's watching. If you write like no one ever going to read it. If you just speak from the heart and all these things, once you start to see, I'm stuttering because I'm starting to think, how can I say this the best possible way? Once you do that, you're toast. I got to write it the best possible way. I got to read it. You got to, what I've done is my day begins at 6 a.m. and goes to noon. It's day one. Day two, it goes from noon to 6 p.m. And I'm not crazy. You're crazy for thinking it takes 24 hours to go through a day like a caveman 300 years ago. It really didn't have anything to do other than what Joe was made. I don't know how it connects. But yes, I am trying to write a story for Jeff Kahn, and man, it's a cool story in my head. And I've got to go with it because there are stories I've written that I look back on and I'm like, oh, this is really good. It's a little rough. It needs something different in here. And I could figure out what that is, but it's pretty fun to read. And I like that. I like the journey. And then there are some things I've read that I've written. I'm like, wow, this is so overwrought and so try hard. And it's performance anxiety, man. Just maybe have a few meat chips, and then launch. So books, buying any soonish. I'm working on Malfi and a bunch of those others. Crossing my fingers. Yeah, who are your Rapture author requests? If you guys got any, Stephen Graham Jones, Chappie. Yeah, I'd love that. If you're paid in Rapture beer, I'm sure you could crank out a great story. Yes. That's a good point. It's motivation, Zach. It is motivation. You got you put that Jeff Word Stout up on the shelf right above the computer. You just keep looking over and you're like, yeah. Wrap your lips around my meat ship. There's a lot of ways to market meat ship. So meaty. So yeah, let's talk about books to buy, or books that have been purchased. See, that's the only downside to handling your meat ship is that you could get it wet. And then you have to handle a book. So this is, I think the Modern Classics line, I was saying when I looked at this and I unboxed it, I thought this book is comparable to a numbered edition from Suntop. And it is absolutely stunning. And I don't know what, I have Inspection. I have Little Heaven. I love Inspection is full leather. Inspection's one of the best books I own. And I don't know why I was so blown away because if I'm blown away by a book, it means I wasn't expecting something, like my expectations were low and therefore my meter is all over the place. And I don't know why I didn't think more. But this is just an amazing book. It is sold out. In my video, I say it's inexplicably still available. And then when I posted the video after the edit was all done, I couldn't add a disclaimer into the video. I saw it was sold out, but Little Heaven is available. So Little Heaven's a tremendous production as well. And I just, man, this is a beautiful book. I'm so happy I got it. And I know Mark was saying how much he loves it, you know. So yes, you gotta get it if you don't got it somehow. That's one you got to get on the secondary now. Yeah, glurp glurp. That is Dungeon Crawler Carl book, right? DCC book. Glurp glurp. When they're, oh man, I'm gonna read the second one. Huzzah! Producer Jill Max is here. Oh, aka Hans. Hans is here. He said huzzah. You got a huzzah, Jill. Huzzah, Hans. Hello, good to see you. I called you Max Walnut. I just see it wasn't like back, a little while ago. I see Max Walnut. I'm like, Hans, just boom, it's Hans. I wanted that Earthling Nick Cutter so badly. Well, the Earthling Nick Cutter is still available. Little Heaven. And I can attest to the gorgeosity of that production. Welcome home, Hans. Yes, that's what I should have said. Sean, I think you've convinced me I need to prioritize Rawson and have my eyes on that Black Crowes. I know I wanted to get it too, but it was $100 delivered. The prodigal son. He has to work the Bible into it. Huh. Still waiting on my Malfi Classics 2.0 from Camelot. Oh, well, you'll be getting it then. And gift wrapped as well. I picked up the Black Crowes Rawson set after the last live. Saw that when Jeff visited the page and decided to take the plunge on 2 books I've been meaning to read for a long time. Yes. Do we need to look at it? Do people? I didn't plan on talking about the Rawson set, but it sounds like to make Stephen Dwayne Ellison Jr. happy that we're talking about books, I could pull it up. I can pull it up. Okay, hold on. So let me share my screen, and you can see these are all the products for Black Crow. These 2 are sold out, and Beef Daddy has them on the shelf. And then we have American Rapture from CJ Lead. This is still available, everyone. You can get this. The Babysitter Lives. Or is it The Babysitter Lives? English. But this is it. So this is 65 pounds. And it comes in a slipcase it's the duology. It's the duology. It's The Devil by Name and Fever House by Keith Rawson. And GTFO, So this is Black Crow Books. I love this. All the gods bent down on a wing and offered me a choice to either choke or sing. And I spit on their eye and I said, it's the same goddamn thing. Love that quote. I almost bought this set for that quote. But I'm like, I'm not in the business of throwing $100 around like that on a new author I've not read, but I know this is one I'm going to look back on and regret. I won't forget it. I won't sit down. I won't beg for air. Even if I drown, I won't forget it. No. Very cool. I like it. It's cool. So I like this. I like this a lot. I don't know what this says. My eyes are lame, but whatever. I don't have to read everything. I don't have to read everything. I don't have to prove anything to 52-year-old Jeff. I don't have to. So you got some sprayed edges popping off. Looks like this. I like this stuff. I think it looks very cool. And if you agree, you can buy it. It's still available. I don't know how many. 1,000 sets. 1,000. And it's an exclusive. Now you could say, Jeff, why are you so stupid? When you have 3 out of the 5 editions, why wouldn't you buy this one? Why wouldn't you be a Black Crowes completist? And there I would say, I don't know. But anyway, so I know Ron, you got it. I will like to hear. Did you get it? By the way, did it arrive? Is it a pre-order? Um, did it arrive in your home in the continental United States? Oh, we got Chad here. Chad, I just okay, I'll post the link. Jeff is ignoring me. What are you talking about? Wait. What do I got? How am I ignoring you? What are you sending me something via Messenger or something? I'll pull it up. No. So how am I ignoring you? Oh, Mitch. Wait a second. Wait. Oh, so what are you talking about, Mitch? Well, how am I ignoring you? And what link do you want me to post? Oh. Anyway, evening, folks. Looking forward to reading this story of yours, Jeff. Oh, Chad. You have better things to do with your time. I will probably here's what I'll do, Chad. Here's what I'll do. I'll write a story and I'll send it to you and I'll say, can you make it better? And then and then it'll be a Chad Lutzke story. That's how I'll trick you into staying out of retirement. Is that what you want to say, Chad? Okay. All right. You want okay, so here's what I'll share. I'll share this. Yo, Chad, we have been chatting. Oh, okay. Hold on. Oh, Jeff, shut up. I just recently purchased a subterranean edition of Blue World. Such a beautiful edition. Yes. That's the thing. A lot of McCammon books have already been done really well. I ordered the Stephen Graham Jones one. Buffalo Hunter is amazing. By the way, thanks for the copy of Brothers Keeper with all that beer and stuff. Via Juan, yes. Oh, I'm glad you got that. And we were looking forward to your story, Chad. Yes. No, it didn't arrive. I think it said August. Okay. Tyler Jones is a big Keith Rossett fan. He could give you notes. What's up, Jeff? Cool to catch you live again. How you been? I'm a Guinness lover. Want to get more into stouts. As a beginner stouts, you recommend Guinness is a beginner stout, or Murphy's probably. But yes. So let me close this real quick. Chad, this is sort of news for Chad, I guess. This is on Blue Sky, and boom, look at this. So Rapture posted this link about To Be a Ghost. An amazing story, Chad. Chad, I was raving. I read it. It's so good. It's so good. It is so good. And I think you're going to get introduced to a lot of people through this chapbook. And I just love that vibe, man. You're the only one. Your voice in writing is so unique. And man, I just read this chapbook and then go read A Foster Home and Flies and Skullface Boy and How the Skin Sheds and Cannibal Creator and Bruise on a Butterfly and Pale White and all those things and Spinal Remains. All great stuff. So anyway, Stephen Graham Jones writes, Chad's good. Damn. I mean, that's awesome because I just read Buffalo Hunter. I think Stephen Graham Jones is a brilliant writer. I wrote my newsletter about it, what my review of the book, and I think I give it a 5-star read, but it would be like 5 stars plus if there's just one thing I didn't like too much, and that was the framing narrative. And to me, that sort of took a lot out of the momentum of that story. It was like a headwind, you know. It was like the story was still amazing, but it would have been just so much better if that last part was trimmed a little, and I don't want to say too much. I don't want to spoil anything. But anyway, brilliant writer. And when he's saying Chad's good, I mean, to me, that sounds understated, but I think Stephen Graham Jones fans will appreciate that. So I think it's a huge shout out. To me, that's pretty awesome. So congrats on that to both you and Mitch. It's been really cool getting to publish a story for him. Thanks for sharing. Yeah, so he shared it. It's on Blue Sky. I'm not on Blue Sky because I tap out of social media, like tapped out. So super freaking cool for Stephen Graham Jones to shout that out, and he ain't lying. No way. He needs to say no more. Stephen Graham Jones rocks, and he knows good shit. Right, exactly. So it's like, if I said Chad's good, it's like, okay, Chad, Jeff likes Chad. But somebody at that level with that amount of cachet, that's cool. That's very cool. Thank you for sending that my way. I have had and loved both Guinness and Murphy's. What's the good strong stouts you can recommend? I'm about 130 pages in a Buffalo 100. It's a big time, slow burn read, but I'm enjoying it. For me, it wasn't a slow burn. For me, it was like I could see the storm building. I could see that this was going to go somewhere irreversible. Like this is going to be something that these are worlds colliding. Like if you saw one planet heading for another and it took them a while to get there, I wouldn't call it a slow burn. I'd be like, I had so much apprehension and like, I don't know. I thought it was brilliant. I thought it really, Bram Stoker was what, 1893? Well, we looked at it last week. Bram Stoker's Dracula, 1897 or something like that. And this was set in 1912. So I think he created another Dracula story. I mean, he wrote it in 2025 or whatever. So it's not written back then, but it feels like it could have been right there, the American Dracula. And some really powerful chapters. And I just loved it. And that's why I think the bar was so high that when you get to the end part where we're now in the framing narrative, because basically the book is a journal that an academic finds and transcribes. And so it's like, well, why are we reading this? It's like, well, we get a little bit of story in the beginning about the PhD student, the professor who's transcribing it, her notes. Then you get the thing, and then you get the end where she's left off and how it's impacting her. And it didn't need to be what it was as much as it was. Anyway, I can't hear you. I don't know what you're saying. So the strong stouts, I would say, would be the Jeff Word Stout. Then there was another stout that I just had, which was Dragon's Milk, Kentucky. Was it Dragon's Milk? Oh, man. It was a Imperial Milk Stout that was bourbon barrel aged. This is 12.0 ABV. So that is a slappy in the face. That slaps harder than Mo Howard. That's my joke. Today's the last day to pre-order for Cassie's 4 to Die For, and I'm taking my decision down to the wire. Wish I hadn't read 50% of it all. No, you got to, Ron, you got to get it. You're taking it down to the wire, and you're going to regret it. You got to get it. That's what I think. And you got to get July 7th is when you can get the Lutsky chat book. Like I said, I read it, and man, Chad, I've read that last paragraph a few times. because I think it took a lot for it to sink in, like what was actually happening. Um, what a punch, man. I loved it. I'm also dense. I'm also a very stupid person. So when I got to that last chapter, I'm like, wait, what? Wait, what? What? It was really crazy. But what an amazing read. I loved it. Perfect. Oh man. And that book could have gone so many ways. So many ways. I think there's a what the story did for me, how to be or to be a ghost. What it did for me was when you read the title and you start to get the details of the story, I started thinking like, and I'm not going to share what my guesses were as to where the story was going. But I was there are so many false start, like you're gonna think, oh, I got this story figured out. I know what's gonna happen. I know what's going on here. And Chad doesn't do anything that you're gonna expect, I think. Which is good because I think the expected stuff, if you expect it, that means you've read it before and everybody's done it before. Right? Right, pool boy? Pool boy agrees. Look at that hunky boy. Um, Buffalo Hunter reminds me of Shogun. Really? Really? Both were a huge clashing of cultures. I thought you should read if you liked Buffalo Hunter, read The Widows of Winding Gale next. Because they do share a theme. There's a little bit of there's worlds colliding and then the insertion of the supernatural. So you got struggle, conflict, and tension on multiple levels. And it's great stuff. Both books are amazing. I got a complete set of Jeff Strand and Philip Fracassi Thunderstorms, and they stand out. Yes. Well, that's quite impressive to get all those Jeff Strand Thunderstorms. There's quite a lot of them. So many. Camelot has complete sets of McCammon books, arcs, limiteds, and letters. You know, Mike, I've seen a lot of people selling McCammon stuff. So much, and from such close people, from people close to McCammon, that I began wondering, is McCammon getting canceled? Are people like walking away from Robert McCammon? I couldn't imagine that because the guy's like a gentleman, but all of a sudden I see McCammon stuff everywhere. I don't quite get it. So, like I understand when I see all the Bentley Little on eBay. I get it. You made a mistake. That's okay. That's what eBay's here for. Just dump it on eBay. Somebody will give you like $4, and you could forget your dirty little secret that you read some Bentley Little. You dumped the Chismark because you fell in for his promotions. You wanted that Cemetery Dance gift card credit, so you bought it. And then the Dick Chiz done did you wrong because the book sucked. And now you got to dump it. That's okay. None of us are perfect. But to see all the McCammons available, it kind of makes you wonder. Like there's something other than his writing. I don't know. It's just how I am. I bought the Owl Crate edition of it after seeing it on Tim's channel. How did you buy that, Jesse? I went to Owl Crate. How do you buy it? You got to subscribe? I can't just buy the book. Can I just buy the book? I just want the goddamn Owl Crate edition of Buffalo Hunter. How do I get it? If you liked Shogun, I recommend Harpoon, about a Japanese whale harpooner who joins Chinese pirates. That sounds awesome, Hans. Called Harpoon by C.W. Nicole. Nice. I almost sent you my reading notes just to help you understand what happened at the end of it. Okay. Well, thank you, Mitch. You didn't need to. You didn't need to. But I think it was just my brain was trying to process because that was none of the endings I had foretold to myself. Left Hand's Nitro Milk Stout is pretty good too. Yeah. Hans, I go outside to put the fire pit and you appear. Put out the fire pit. You got a fire pit? The ending twist of To Be a Ghost will blow your balls off. Well, I hope not. Like, let's not, we don't want, that's for the 4th of July, right? Don't pass up 4 to Die For. It'll be very hard to get later if you change your mind. I've looked at Owlcrate also, emailed them, but haven't gotten a response. I did too. McCammon is being canceled because people are jealous of his amazing writing. Yeah. I'm on the hunt for the Devil's Goldsboro edition. Anyone have a copy? Is that sold out? Is that completely gone? I get distracted. It's just all it takes. Yes, Jeff, I have a lot of grown-up possessions. A fire pit, though, is to burn evidence. That's what I suspect you're doing. This is excellent lager, or is it Pilsner? Great stuff. Wrap your hands around a meat ship. Look at that tall meat ship. I didn't name it. So, what else are we going to talk about? Yes, Jeff. Are you ready for Happy American Independence Day, aka Jaws movie marathon day? Oh man, I'm going to avoid injury, and plenty of them on eBay, Kevin. Really. Hello, happy Monday. I have to know, is Pool Boy giving you performance anxiety? No, Pool Boy is demoted. I demoted Pool Boy. No. Good to see you, Russell. And Rolled Oats, of course. So what else we got to talk about? Yes, I wanted to share this with you. This is from Jill's Shelves. This is a folio purchase. And what do we have here? It doesn't give up the ghosts. It won't let me. Oh, it was packaged by Adina. Adina did that for me. And this is Wind in the Willows. Look at that. So we could just come around here, bring it around town. The Wind in the Willows. And it is a very lovely edition. Charles Stanwyck did the art, I believe. And it is lovely. The paper quality is excellent. Doing it this way really doesn't do it justice, but you see some illustrations. And I think it's marvelous. I haven't had a folio in a while. This is a 14th or a 15th printing. 15th printing. Like, they just keep churning them out. But it is a very nicely done edition, comparable to a classic edition from Suntub. That's what I would compare it to. The slipcase leaves a lot to be desired. It's a paper-covered slipcase, but a cool detail there. They come out to match the spine somewhat, like that, like it do. And it's a very lovely edition. And I think I was more impressed with it than I thought I would be, because I've gotten folio editions before. I think their Cormac McCarthy titles are pretty underwhelming, but this is really nice. This is more than their Cormac McCarthy titles, at least since I bought the Cormac McCarthy titles. I don't know how long it's been. I don't know if prices have gone up across the board, but very cool. Nice. And producer Joe likes it. That's mission accomplished. That's all I wanted. Was for her to like it, and I liked it a little more than I thought I would. And it's it's blown away by Alice in Wonderland, as Christopher knows. Alice in Wonderland is just amazing. Balls to the wall, amazing. But this is pretty sweet too. Totally different price point. And I just thought I'd share it. It's a very nice book. Got a case of Narragansett for the Jaws Marathon. Folio Svelta packaged my wind-up bird chronicle. Svelta. I picked up the Folio Weird Tales when it came out. It's a decent book. Yeah, I mean, I don't think you're going to be blown away by a Folio book, but you're going to be satisfied. You're going to be like, oh, it's a nice book. It's better than a trade edition. I'm sorry, this lager is like hugging my mustache. I didn't know that would be the case. Like, this is what you want on a pontoon boat, Mitch. Like, send me my pontoon boat, and I'll do a proper ad for this lager. I'll get a boat. I'll call it the SS Meat Ship, and then I'll get on board a pontoon boat. I'll have this, and I'll wear like Speedos, and it'll be like, oh, this is so bad. And I'll be drinking the Meat Ship, saying like sleazy lines, and you'll get viral fame, but I will be humiliated, and it'll cost me whatever dignity I think I have. Hi, everyone. Just got out of drawing class. Better late than never. Yes. Good. You could be here. Good that you can be here, because you also got the replay. You can watch on the replay. I picked up the Folio. Blah, blah, blah. Pleasantly surprised is pretty much the reaction from Folio. Yeah, I think that Folio did a nice job on their James Bond books. Okay. I thought the Philip K. Dick Udick was an interesting title. And I think they did a really great job on Something Wicked This Way Comes by Ray Bradbury. Have you seen that one? I should say that this is a slipcase. This is the book, Something Wicked This Way Comes, Ray Bradbury. It is a hella nice book, I think. And I believe I got the first printing. I don't know. I think I did. I don't know. You could tell me. Do you see anywhere on there that says what printing it is? I don't see first printing, but I think that means it's a first printing. I don't know. But I think they did a phenomenal job. Oh, maybe not phenomenal, but they did an excellent job. I'm very happy with Something Wicked This Way Comes. And I just shot my light down. Let's get some white back into this. What the hell's with my vein there? Look at that vein. Am I going to die? Does that mean I'm going to die soon? All right. Well, I got a show and tell here. I showed you Come With Me and Wind in the Willows. I didn't expect to show you to that. Subscription boxed books are more prevalent on Mercari versus eBay. Someone sold a Buffalo Hunter for $35 2 weeks ago. Damn it. I sent an email to Rapture Brewing about shipping to California like a week ago, and no response. They usually take a long time to respond to emails. Rapture? No, I have them on here now. Patrick, hit me up. Give me your email, and I'll send it along to Mitch. And then we'll get you connected. Okay? I could do that. So message me your email, and I'll get it to Mitch. And then you guys can talk. What's up, Johnny? Good to see you. Something Wicked. I had to buy a reading copy because that yellow will corrode with my hand oils. Oh, hand oils. You got to get some gloves. I emailed you back today. I'm not great at checking my Rapture Brewing email. Mitch, well, he's probably at a play date. Now that we see that Folio Society, it is not going to be signed by Stephen King. I'm definitely passing. Yes, the absence of any other printing info for Folio indicates a first. Oh, that's good to know. That's good to know. Cool. Yes. So if you haven't seen Folio's It is going to be signed by Guillermo del Toro, who is a fantastic director. Much props to him. But why would he sign It? Andy Muscacelli, I don't remember what that guy's name was, directed It, and I think he did a tremendous job. I think he did a fantastic job. So I don't think we need another director to sign the book. It's kind of a bad look, I think. But I heard it's going to be 590 pounds, which is, according to today's exchange rate, about $800. And that's before shipping. So no dice, no way. Easy pass for me at 590 pounds. At $800, there's no way. It's one of those things where it's like so easy to just watch it come and go. And even if it was signed by King, I would pass at $800. Jeff, I was considering dangling an unpublished book in front of Earthling to give them first dibs. They've never reached out to me before. You think they'd bite? Oh my God. Chad, please do that. Please do that. Do you think they'd bite? I think Paul would. I think so. I think Paul, I mean, you're talking novel length. I think so. I think, please do it. I think so. If not, I bet you there's another publisher lurking around who would be happy to do it. But yes, I think a while ago I told Paul Miller, I had a communication with Paul Miller. I don't know if he instigated it or if I did, but I was writing out. I was telling him who the authors I think he should do, and I told him Keelan Patrick Burke, Chad Lutsky, but he already did the other ones I would recommend, which is Malfi and Mallerman and Philip Fracassi. So yes, it was like he's already done so many, but I'm like Keelan Patrick Burke and Chad Lutsky. Keelan Patrick Burke and Chad Lutsky. Definitely those two to get material from. So I'm positive I already said it. It's a novella. Does he only do no? So no. What do we got here? We got this book. What the hell? Okay. We got this title. This is They Say a Girl Died Here Once. This is Sarah Pinborough. This is novella length. So what do we got? How many pages? How many? I can't see. It might be more than how many pages is that? I can't even see it. 200 exactly. Okay. So that's more than, I mean, but we got, generous page margins and all that. I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. I think he would be open to doing a novella length title from Chad Lutsky. I think he would. I would hope he would. I will also email him and say, hey, would you please, we got to talking on the Jeff Word, as we do, about up and coming titles. And Chad wants to be in the Earthling business. Does Earthling want to be in the Chad business? Let's work on it. Let's get this going. 590 pounds for what book? It. 590 pounds is the weight. How about for next year's Halloween series book? Yes. SST. Yeah, the 590 pounds is the It from Stephen King from Folio. It's going to be released July 15th. They're going to announce details. There's a waiting list you can get on so you can be part of the parade. But I will be paying attention. If I look at it and it's like, it's only 150 pounds, which at this point I feel silly for thinking it ever was going to be that. But my German edition of It, which I can't read, which has more design elements, more thought went into the design of, like, you stick a red balloon on it. Okay. You're not even trying. But you create a sewer grate. I shared it last week, the German edition of it. And I think it was like $75. And, so it's not crazy to say $150. It's not nuts. But that, of course, wasn't signed by anyone. And they did 10,000 copies of it. Short and Scary is SST, yes. Yeah, I recall you telling me you have reached out to him a few years ago. Yeah, has it been that long? It might have been. Curious King makes some astounding but expensive books as well. There are editions of Hyperion is to die for. Yeah, yes, Pat. That is, Curious King is amazing. I have their standard editions, and if that's the standard, holy shit. Jeff, I wish Paul at SST had been as responsive as Earthling to your suggestions when you pitched the Pines trilogy. Still sad about that. I know. That would have been great. I still have hopes he'll do Fracassi. Philip just posted an image of all the books he had done since 2022. And he's kind of taken a moment to look at that catalog he's created. And it's amazing. It is really, and every single one's a killer one, Paul's done plenty of short novels, including The Spirit of Place recently. Yes. El Dia de la Muerta by Brian Hodge was another one. Yeah, he's done short stuff. So novella, I think, is going to be fine. Is there any news from the JeffCon front? No. So what is going to happen is July 13th, I'm going to go to the space. I'm going to see exactly what I'm dealing with. Where can I put tables? What am I allowed to do? Are there other floors to this? So I'm going to I got to get a site on it. So Philip Fracassi will be there. Mitch Hull and Rapture will be there. I've gotten a couple of commitments from other authors, Keelan Patrick Burke and Chad Lutsky among them, to appear in some form or manner. I'm gonna reach out to other people as well, but I think I have enough to feel good about. And then once I know if I can add more tables and get more stuff going, then I can see about formalizing my schedule, figuring out what time of the day we're doing what, and getting people slotted into those spots. So more to come for sure, but it's kind of waiting until I can see the space because they're remodeling it right now. Producer Jill was just there yesterday or today or yesterday. I don't know what day it is. And she looked at the space and saw people were still working inside. What 10 books did you recommend on Suntop? We talked about that earlier. I'm curious because I know Paul may put some stock into your opinion since he got Butcher Boy. I don't know. I think he took a risk on Butcher Boy, and would that fly today? I don't know. But I suggested Wolf's Hour, Confederacy of Dunces, Fight Club, Small Town Horror. I know I recommended a Fracassi. I think it was Autumn Springs Retirement Home Massacre. So that's 5 off the top of my head that I remember. I should have recommended The Painted Bird. But again, I don't think that bird flies with a wider audience. So I don't know. Paul buys all my Rapture chappies. So he'll be getting to be a ghost and will obviously want to join the Lutsky business. Yeah, Curious King looks incredible, but it's expensive. And it's worth every penny. Sorry, I'm behind on the folio news, but they want that much for an unsigned book. Well, it is going to be signed. It's just not going to be signed by King. It's going to be signed by a couple of people, like the artists, and then the author of the introduction, who's going to be Guillermo del Toro. And so he's a big name. Some people will want it for that, but $800 is not, if that's what the price is going to be, it rules me out. Chad Lutsky, Earthling, with a Stephen Graham Jones intro. Jesse, you hit it out of the park. What Curious King standard editions? Well, I have a couple, but the big one, oh my God, this is the blade itself. So this is Joe Abercrombie, and it is magnificent. It is it's a really gorgeous book, the blade itself. So yes, and I have the 5th season as well by N.K. Jemisin. So I have those. And chef's kiss. I plan on having a renegade advice, ask me anything table, 25 cents per question. We're going to have to figure that out. I love that suggestion in the chat. We're going to figure that out. We're going to get Stephen Dwayne Graham, Allison Jones Jr., a table where he can set up and give you sage advice or rage advice, from sage to rage, you know. Did you finish Buffalo Hunter Hunter? Yes. I wrote a review in my newsletter, but I'm going to do a video on it, a book review video, which I kind of cringe when I do those because I don't like to give plot points, but then people are like, well, this guy liked it. And so I try to say what I like about it, but I always sort of meander a lot more than usual. Curious King did a great Ready Player One, which is a rebind. It's a rebind, yeah. Has Paul ever published any books he took from? Oh yeah, from his surveys. Yes, he publishes. Like that's primarily he gets that list and he sees which titles have scored highly among many people, and then he goes after those titles. So he's like, my customer base, like 80% of them want this book. I'm going to try to get it. Nice. Joe Abercrombie is my favorite modern fantasy. I've got to read them. Okay, tonight's peer pressure got to me. I just finally picked Fracasse's 4 to Die For. Who am I kidding? The purchase was always going to happen. Good on you, Ron. You deserve it. And yes. And you could pick it up, right? You could save on shipping. So good for you. I'm glad you got it. And you're gonna be happy. So you read 50% of it, but there's gonna be art, and then there's the other 50% you didn't read, and you could experience it for the first time as a beautiful Thunderstorm book. Yes. That's my holy grail. Don't have a spare 10K for it though. What'd you say? Oh, Ready Player One. Yeah. Yeah. Jeff, what book do you have in your collection that is just beautifully made, regardless of the story? That my Red Dragon, I showed it last week. My lettered Red Dragon is just beautifully made. A lot of Suntups. I mean, I think if I did a top 10 list, so many of them would be Suntups that it would be like, well, you can only pick one from each publisher. And if I had to pick one, then it would be Butcher Boy or Red Dragon. But as far as beauty goes, The Exorcist, Slaughterhouse 5 by Suntup is just phenomenal. There's so many that Suntup has done. But as I was talking about Earthling, we got the new modern classics where you got Little Heaven. That's available. You can buy it right now, and it is one of the most gorgeous books. Just for sheer beauty, you know? Just sheer beauty. Any updates on when the next book club will be scheduled? I'm working on it, Lance. I would like Buffalo Hunter Hunter to be that book, but I'll schedule it. I'll figure out. I'll try to reach out maybe to Stephen Graham Jones to see if he'll appear. I will say this. I'm just going to be stupidly honest, right? Buffalo Hunter Hunter leans into, I mean, it's central to the story, the displacement of Native American tribes, right? And it's kind of, it's a perilous territory to navigate, to talk about, and it could raise feelings. You know what I mean? It's like, I don't want to say that it's a hindrance to discussing it with the author, or, you know, I feel like on one hand you could pigeonhole the author because he's Native American, and then it feels like, well, that's not all I am. I don't know. It just feels, I don't know. Maybe it's just, I'm just terrified of saying the wrong thing. And therefore, when you're terrified of saying the wrong thing, sometimes saying the wrong, that you're terrified of saying the wrong thing is the wrong thing to say. I just feel like I'd handle it clumsily. You know, I don't know. But that is a key part of the book. And I think that's part of what I love so much about it. It offers a window into that time in American history, which is like, you know, if you want to say it's America's original sin, because that's, the land was occupied and then it was not by the people who originally occupied it. And, you know, I think every territory on the planet had that going on. Like every single place has had people fighting for the space, and not going to relitigate it now. I'm not here for that, but for me as a human being, I was intensely interested in learning about it and understanding it from an honest perspective. And like when I read that, it really did make me want to read, like, well, what was life like? What was the truth? What was really happening? What did people experience? And the good, the bad, the ugly. Like, I don't know. Sort of, you could easily, it's like, so I don't know, because Anyway, I'm not that guy. I am not that guy to have that conversation. So, but I would love to have it, Buffalo Hunter Hunter, and I would always love to have the author here to talk about the book. I would like to ask him, could you have just trimmed, like, why was that framing narrative so important? Because in his afterword, or in his acknowledgments, he said, I never planned on writing about Etsy, who's the character in the framing narrative. But she just was there. I'm like, why? But why was she just there? I've yet to read any Fracassi or Malfi. Any recommendations for first-time reader of those? Boys in the Valley from Fracassi, or Gothic, or Child Alone with Strangers, or, well, let me just say, Autumn Springs Retirement Home Massacre. Well, you can't read that just yet. That's going to be September. But, so Boys in the Valley, start there. Definitely. And as far as Malfi, all I've read from him was Small Town Horror, and that was so good. His Suntup Blood Meridian, yes, is stellar. Yes. Yeah. My Suntup Blood Meridian is probably my prettiest. Yes. I got to say that too. I have Blood Meridian, Exorcist. Yes. I thought the Native American history element in Buffalo was really well done. Did not feel like a lecture, no, or too politically charged, just facts. Yes, but yes, I'm reviewing the book in my mind, and yeah, I can only agree with you, because it was pretty honest. It was so honest because at one point, Good Stab, who's the main character in the book, bemoans the fact that Native American tribes fell in love with the gun, and they put the gun above their own, what the gun meant. They were willing to trade so much for the gun that it led to them being easily persuaded. You know what I mean? Or exploited. So he agreed that some of their desires contributed to that. Like, he wishes that they'd never experienced that and had been different, not as welcoming and against their nature from the outset. It's really, really interesting, but it was a level of the book was amazing. Yeah, I used to have all the early numbers. Yeah. My favorite Malfi is December Park, but a shorter second place is the Night Parade or Come With Me. I got to read that. I can be your sensitivity coordinator. Please do, Stephen Wales Jr. Speaking of Native American authors, I recently read about the controversy about Al Goingback. He denies it, but who's to say? Really? That's a shame. I hate this stuff. I've not read him, but Stephen Dwayne Allison Jr. sent me a paperback of his, which I should read. Favorite for Kasi is Boys in the Valley. It was also my first. It was kind of special. Yeah. Yeah. What is the Al Goingback controversy? I love Good Stab's name for stuff, like he calls mice dirty faces. Yeah, I think that's the translation from his Native American language. Behold the Void, 5 stars. Yeah, Serafina. Those are great. Those are great titles. But here, let's check this out. I gotta do an unboxing here real quick. But I do want to know what the Al going, and I'll look it up. We can all look it up. Al Goingback controversy. That's a shame. I want to stress the relationship that Ronald Malfi has with Parks Books. They recently had signed copies of the paperback edition of Small Town Horror, and I took him up on it. But while I was there, I also got another signed book from them of a Malfi title that I don't have, because I read Small Town Horror. I have the hardcover. I lent it out to my brother-in-law. I don't know if I'll ever get it back. Just kidding, Rob. It's just a joke. Who am I kidding? He's not watching. And so when they were saying Small Town Horror paperback, you can get it signed. I'm like, I want that. So I got this. And I got 2 of them because why not? They're paperbacks. They're very inexpensive. So the first one I got was Little Girls. I think my brother-in-law, Rob, read this and he loved it, I believe. So I got it, and I've not read it, but now I have a Malfi, and I believe it should be signed. Is it signed? The Jeff Word Loves Little Girls by Ronald Malfi. That's funny. I wonder if he remembers me or if he knows me, or because I said, you know what? I was just going to get him flat signed. I was just going to order it. And then before the order went through, the person there reached out and said, do you want them personalized? I'm like, now that you mention it, have them written to the Jeff Word. And because Malfi did appear here on a book club. And I didn't know if he would recall that I was that Jeff. That was funny. Okay, so this has to be Small Town Horror. And you can go to Parks Books, and get it. There it is. This is a great book. I love this book. Small Town Horror. Signed first edition paperback. And the Jeff Word. Welcome to Kingsport. Awesome stuff, man. I love it. I love it. I love it. Love it. So there we are. So two books. And they gift wrapped it. I didn't really expect that. But I guess when you get books personalized or signed, they do that. So Was it because he was on the list of who's faking his native heritage? Ooh, that's a big one. Yeah, that's a big bad one. Um, Boys was not just my first Fracassi, it was my first horror novel. Well, congratulations. It's a good one, man. You really started with a great one. Yeah, it's a meat ship, Patrick. Meat ship by Rapture, who I hope you're in touch with and can get you the hookup, because that's the way to go out there in California. Malfi's hilarious. Yeah. Mike, yes, I posted the Wikipedia synopsis above, but apparently it's not showing, though I can see it for some reason. Did you email? Can you email it to me, Ron, and I could post it? It won't go through if it'll go through if the host does it. So if you email it to me, I'll post it. Yeah, I just Googled it. Not an Indian, was of European ancestry. Wow. Melfi has been on a couple of Jeff Words. Yes. The book club and Fracassi Fest. The Loki timer is going off. Take it easy later, Gators. I'll have to check that out. Don't see it, but I'll look for it. How do you get away with buying such expensive and awesome editions of books? My wife is awesome, but don't think I could ever tell her the price on some of those books I want. I know. And it got crazy and it kept going. And then one year I sat down and I wrote down, and for tax reasons, I wrote down all the stuff I bought. And man, that was like a slap in the face. I was like, wow. The cumulative price tag for a year of buying just the Sun Tups was so much. It was my come to Jesus moment. And it really set me. I was floored. I felt, I honestly, because we're not upper middle class people. I'm not an investment banker. You know, we have 3 kids. Like there's a level of responsibility and some frugality you need to exercise to and I exceeded it clearly. And so you just have to buy within your means. You got to you shouldn't try to get away with things. I know what you're saying. And I know you're not saying that, but like if you have the money and it's not going to put you into debt and it's not going to hurt you, and books are that important to you, because books are that important to me, then hopefully your wife, your partner understands and encourages it within reason, you know, trying to keep you honest and healthy and like keep you away from any of those crazy things that can get out of control, like most addictions can. But yes, I don't get away with anything. I don't hide anything. And I've learned, I think for me, you know, if somebody's telling you and correcting you and yelling at you, and you just take it out on them, you don't really reflect maybe on what, when it's presented to you and you do the math yourself, and then you're a thinking human being and you're looking at it, that's probably all the education you're going to need. So within your means, you know, and don't buy an author you don't like. Don't buy from a publisher you don't love. Got to put the chickens up. Have a great night, y'all. Take it easy. I'm going to probably be cutting out. I guess you guys can look up Owl Going Back. I don't have a link here to share with you, but and I can't really navigate the interwebs right now, but go check it out. I really hate to think somebody would pass themselves off. You know, the funny thing is, the irony is, Owl Going Back is a Native American name. Like you see that name, you're like, okay, that's what's going on here. This is a Native American name. You see Stephen Graham Jones, you're like, oh, it's just some, you know, it's like that doesn't give me enough information to go on to say what nationality, what ethnicity, whatever that person could be. Isn't that funny? And he's a Native American author. didn't exploit anything. You know what I mean? So I'd hate to see somebody use that name to draw some sort of curiosity seekers, like, well, what does a Native American writer sound like? And do that, exploit that. That's kind of scummy. Hopefully that's not what happened. Yeah, my wife is awesome and has bought me a few Hot Toys figures, very expensive as well. They make a killer 1/6. Oh wow, the T1000 or the T800. Wow, very cool. Yeah, I collected some statues. I got some Batman black and white statues. I got some Lobo statues. Lobo. Good night, number one. Thank you. I'm going to bounce. Thank you for stopping by, Hans. I'm glad to see you. Kyle was here last week. Am I dying? Is this like everybody saying goodbye to me for one last time? Because that's cool. I appreciate that. Really warms my cockles. But I'm so glad you were here, Hans. Come back next week so we could talk books. Good night. Good night. A lot of natives, I believe, took white names to fit in, if I'm recalling correctly, as Stephen Graham Jones' name. Yeah, I don't know the story, so I wasn't going to comment on that. A great Native American writer is Sherman Alexis. See, I did not know. See you on the other side. All right, take it easy, everyone. Go drink your meat ship. And it's delicious. I mean, seriously, if you guys can get a hold of some Raptured, please do. Get some Jeff Ward Stout. And no matter what you do, stay frosty.